YouTube channel. And on this particular episode, this is 12 a.m. from Nairobi Southern Bypass. I'm cycling all the way to Namanga, to Arusha, to Moshi, 360 kilometers, and I want to cover it in under 18 hours. And the reason for me doing this is because I'm going to participate in the Kili International Marathon, and somebody is already waiting for me there with my race number. I need to pick it before I sleep on this particular day, so I have to do it whether I like it or not, and that is just how I normally operate. So join me in this particular episode. I show you how my trip from Nairobi was, and if you wanna try this, maybe you can take some notes. And 6 hours later, we are 175 kilometers away from Nairobi, and this is me at Namanga, the border between Kenya and Tanzania. Is a few minutes to 6:30. I am going to have myself cleared at the immigration office before I take breakfast and then proceed into Tanzania. So this part of Namanga town seems to be still asleep, not much going on, but if you get to the other side or just near the actual border, there's a lot of activity. So most of you, I know, you rarely go past this sign, and once you've taken photos here, you normally turn back and go back. But I wanted to show you that on this other side there are pretty much good offices where the immigration is, and on this part you just go, you are checked in, and then once you've shown your bag and everything, you also give your passport and the yellow fever. Yes, once you have been given your passport and your yellow fever, you're given this piece of paper, which I did find to be a bit useless. Just fill in some details, your name, where you are going, who will be your contact person, and I was expecting somebody will ask me this paper somewhere out there. Nobody asked me. I still having my copy. So once you're done, you come back to this other side, and they take your fingerprints, and then you face the camera. A portrait of you is taken. They ask you why you are going, what the reason of you going there, just like that. And off we go. That is the exit gate or entry gate into Tanzania. Imagine if you are cycling and you are going to come back cycling, you can as well as not pass through the immigration. Maybe you didn't know that, but if you're going to come back maybe in a vehicle or in a flight, then you need to check in. You need to check out. You need to check out. Failure to do that, there will be some consequences, because every time you leave a country, you need to be stamped that you have exited, and in the other side you are also stamped that you are entering. The same thing happens when you're coming back. So if you are cycling only and you come back again cycling, nobody will bother you. I've done that into Ethiopia, and I've also done that into I've seen it in Uganda. In Ethiopia I went and came back. I didn't go very far, but in Uganda I went in by bus and I was coming back cycling. I passed that place, nobody even bothered. So when you're cycling for long distance, good to dress like that. When you have the leg warmers and the arm warmers, you stay with them throughout the day. They help to conserve the energy, and you won't really struggle, especially with the heat or the cold. Sort of like it becomes sort of like an insulator. So on the other side, if you look, you will be seeing that is Mount Longido, and at the foot of Mount Longido is where there is Longido town. It is 25 kilometers from Namanga. Met these guys jogging. I don't know if they are youth service or something. They were very impressive. Longido town is 200 kilometers from Nairobi, or 190 depending on where you have started from. 160 left to Moshi. So from here I'm getting into Longido. Mount Longido Forest Reserve is a stretch of 40 kilometers passing through a lonely patch. Trees on either sides of the road. There's a bit of a climb somewhere, but Oldonyo Royasambu, which is now at the end of the reserve, that is where now there is some work that will be done, proper work to be done. There is a climb of almost 10 kilometers, very long one, and then after that, that's where now Arusha will be like 30 kilometers from there. So drivers are cautioned not to exceed 50 kilometers per hour because this is a reserve. And I met some Kenyan drivers with a Prado. They were also going to run, and they were complaining that they have been stopped and told they can only keep it 50. They really suffered, but I told them, Maze, you're in another country and these people, they can't be bribed. Just stick to the rules here. So we are still in Longido Reserve. Some kids there were saying hi to me. By the way, this is Maasai land. Engrakaret. Now, my camera did have a problem here at Oldonyo Royasambu, and then this other place is a bit of a dust storm just on top of Oldonyo Royasambu. So finally we are at Arusha, 110 kilometers from Namanga. It is 12 p.m. and why not that I was buying a Vodacom line? I wouldn't have wasted the time that I wasted here. I realized the Vodacom line has a lot of regulations that need to be followed and sometimes becomes an issue. Also, they were using my passport to record, so it's a bit a bit of an issue here and there, or the names they're not matching, or the signature is not matching, those kind of things. But I finally got my line to be registered, and then I could now start to use the internet in Tanzania. So Arusha looks very, very, very organized, and there is no chaos despite it being a very big city. I realize that they do follow traffic rules. Nobody is keeping the lights like we do in Kenya. That's one thing I really noted. Very, very, very organized. Look at them. Even the border guys, they don't skip the lights. So look at them. This is a crossroad. People are waiting patiently. There are no traffic officers to control them. They are very orderly. So on the other side, I think that's where the bus station is, on the other side. Seeing a lot of PSVs coming from that side. So I did find the guys that were registering the Vodacom line on this other side of the road near the Total station. That's where I found them, and then registered my line for proceeding on to Moshi. So I really wasted a lot of time, but at 2 p.m. I was off from Arusha with the 80 kilometers still remaining. I started my chess mode activation. So from Arusha to Moshi, it's more of downhill, and was really enjoying some crazy speeds here. By the way, there is Mount Meru in Arusha. I could have shown you were it not for the misbehaving of my camera. Mount Meru is the one that is here in Arusha, and then there's another reserve. So I got to Usa River, not USA River. Maybe I want to say Usa River, USA, but this is Usa River is like 20 kilometers from Arusha. Then next place was Kikatiti. So from Arusha going to Moshi, the road is a bit rough. You might have the temptation that you want to draft, but it's not a good place to try something like that, because you might hit a portal. But as you progress towards Moshi, the heat starts to increase. So fighting the heat and everything, the easiest way is to cover yourself and leave very little part of your body exposed, because there is wind and there is heat. And you see, because it's more of a it's more of a drop, you can actually find a way of you can actually waste a lot of energy or lose energy to the environment. So there is a bypass that there is a bypass to go around. Is it Arusha? I'm not very sure. There is some section of the road that is under construction here, just before you get to the airport. And I'm gonna learn how Tanzania number plates work or operate, or how they are determined. The only ones that I was able to determine are the ones from Uganda, but for Tanzania I need to take my time. They have some weird combination of number plates. If I bought a Tanzanian car, I would I would be tempted to expect that I can actually come up with my own combination. Once done there, now we start chase Moshi. But they had a lot of fans. These are guys, they went, I never met these guys, but they know me because they saw me on the road. They are so happy to see me. And I did forget to show you guys a video of myself that I was recorded, and I was leaving Arusha town. I had a lot of fans from Kenya cheering me as I cleared the distance between Nairobi and Moshi. So this is the airport, Kilimanjaro International Airport. From here to Moshi is still 30 kilometers, but now it's gonna be windy, crosswinds, proper crosswinds, and also the heat is also increasing. At least somebody was gentle enough to plant trees along the road, because this place is very, very, very windy and hot. But somebody planted some trees here a while back. So working with a constant pace can really save you a lot. Trying to work with a tempo when you're doing a long distance like this one working with the tempo can really save you a lot of energy, because you are actually working on saving energy. But I really like the fact that there were road shoulders here in Tanzania, most of the parts of the road. With only a few places with rambles. So still we are nearing Moshi, and for somebody literally you'll be seeing Moshi 10 kilometers away, Maili Sita. So in Kiswahili say Moshi, naweza ona Moshi because of the distance. By the way, I did see even Mugambi with their friends. They were coming this way. I'm sure even Mugambi was also running in the marathon, and he's been a culprit of cycling abroad. So there's a drop here and then a climb before we actually start to see Moshi. Yeah, I'm sure Ivan was gonna enjoy this drop coming back. Otherwise, Ivan, I really salute you for cycling abroad. And Moshi is just like 5 kilometers away. And by the way, the time that I was getting here, around 5:30. That was the time I was finishing my ride, but I was in Moshi like a few minutes past 5, and I was so happy with my achievement. And some people are following this on my WhatsApp channel and also on my status. I really thank you guys for having cycled with me virtually. I did manage to conserve some energy to run the half marathon, and what's amazing is that the person that I managed to run with, a lady, she became the 10th woman. We managed to do our half marathon in 1 hour and 43 minutes. I was so amazed. I'm planning next year that I should be able to cycle like this and do a full marathon. A full marathon is 42 kilometers. Anyways, thank you so much for having followed me up to this point. Hit the subscribe button. Until next time.
Okay.